Hi, I'm Jim Pence with See the Light, and here is our second of our series of 6 more super short art tips. Have you ever bought pastels and when you get them, they're broken? Here's a set of our See the Light pastels, and I know occasionally when those ship out, you'll end up with a broken stick. What do you do about that? It's kind of frustrating because you buy something new and you want it to be perfect, and then you come and find, oh man, my sticks are broken. Well, as someone who works with pastels and chalks all the time, a broken stick really isn't a big deal. That's because a lot of times I break the sticks of chalk on purpose by myself, because sometimes I'll find that a fully sized stick might be too big for my purposes. I may actually want to work with a smaller chunk like this one here, because it gives me a little bit more freedom to work. I'm not doing anything in particular here. I'm just saying that sometimes we perceive a broken stick of chalk as something that is bad or defective, and it isn't necessarily. A lot of times I'll find, again, a full-size stick here actually too big, and will deliberately break it. In fact, tell you what I'm going to do right in front of your eyes. I'm breaking a stick of chalk. Well, it didn't really hurt. It's okay. Sometimes a fresh stick is going to give me a nice fresh corner. Let me do some more details. It's not a big deal is what I'm trying to get across. Don't worry if your chalk breaks, because it still works. Now, if you get a little chunk that's too small or too difficult to work with, you can try this, and this is sort of a semi-workable solution. It doesn't always produce the greatest results, and there are some side effects. But this little gadget here I actually got with a set of computer tools, and its real purpose, I don't have any little screws here, its real purpose is picking up screws. Or picking up tiny things if you're working on a computer, and a little screw slips out of your hand and goes way down deep in there, and you've got to reach in and somehow grab it. Well, it will work with chalk too. Now, the main difficulty is, and I don't know how well you can see it, I have a grab my finger, it has kind of some pointy edges which will allow it to latch on to a stick of chalk, and there you've got a nice chunk that you can hold and work with if you just really don't like working with a small chunk, and you want a little bit more to manipulate. It's kind of nice. I don't know exactly where you can get these. Probably, I'm pretty sure I got mine at a place like Radio Shack or something like that. But if you shop around computer stores, places that sell computer tools, you might find one of these. And again, it's not a perfect solution, because if your chalk is too soft, it may just crumble the whole thing, and then you're going to have powder. But you know what? Even powder I can work with. And in fact, eventually I'm going to be doing some videos on how to draw galaxies and space scenes. I've already done a few, but I'm going to be doing some more detailed ones. And in those, often I will deliberately make powder out of my chalk. So this is just tips. Again, this is super short art tips. If you don't like little chunks of chalk, and you want to be able to work with a broken stick, that's one way to do it. But again, the main message of this lesson is don't sweat a broken stick of pastel, because broken doesn't mean broken. It just means you've got 2 sticks to work with of different sizes. Gives you a little more variety and a little bit more control. Well, that's all for today. I'm Jim Pence with See the Light, and we'll see you next week for our next super short art tip.